What does that mean when we say Ponysaurus? Things that don't necessarily belong together, coming together to make something special. That also includes sort of really traditional brewing with really kooky thinking.
We're very, very serious about the liquid, and we're very, very silly about everything else. Originally there were 3 of us, and Kyle, who was the original brewer, he was an avid home brewer and a good friend of ours, and he turned his whole his garage into a brewery. And most people, you know, when you taste their home brew, they're like, try my home brew, and you kind of brace yourself not to grimace. But he actually made really great beer, and so at some point I went to him and said, you know, dude, I think we could sell your beer.
That just kind of came together in a really weird way. Again, I think that's what's great about Durham. We met because we're all part of the community. And this person introduced me to them, and they introduced me, and it just happened. And suddenly we were at a table going, hey, let's do this thing. If you think about what beer is a metaphor for coming together.
And I think that the #1 most important thing in that is making sure that everybody in this community is welcome and feels safe here. And creating an environment from start to finish that you know, that includes all of the humans that are here.
And the beer brings that together, and I love that. That's probably what I love most about the whole thing.
So the idea for me of being involved in a brewery that was focused on creating, you know, focused on traditional styles of beer and beautiful expressions of beer and the history behind them, and you know why they came to be what they are, was really exciting. If you were going to sum up what we generally go for in making our beer, it's balance. To describe what we want to do is that we want to create beautiful expressions, mostly of traditional styles of beer. You know, we do some fun, creative, zany stuff sometimes, but it's not sort of the core of what we focus on. We want our beers to be eminently drinkable.
I think that there's an alchemy to creativity that you cannot quantify. But there's also, when you have a company and you have a brewery, you have to make it reproducible, and you have to have structure around it. But within that structure is the alchemy of just letting creative people go. And then the line that sort of has come to, I think, say the most about us was the beer would drink if beer could drink beer. I think one of the things that we bonded over at the very beginning was the idea that we're going to build community. We want to be part of the community. For us, like, building community meant making a product people want that's really good, and I think our beer is great. It means creating an environment that people want to come in, making sure they feel welcome, and that it also means living our values out in the community. Whenever we can be a part of something, we're a part of it.
We try and find folks that are doing good work, and then, you know, we try to do our work well and support them in doing their work well, which is work we believe in but maybe don't know how to do.
We created, with 40 other breweries, Don't Be Mean to People, right? And the reason we created that is not anything, you cannot argue with Don't Be Mean to People unless you're mean to people.
If don't be mean to people is rule #1, then rule #2, we decided for us, was tell the truth. And it's something that everybody can get behind. Tell the Truth raises money. A portion of proceeds goes to fund paid internships for people that want to get into journalism.
And we're committing to real journalism and trying to combat what's happening in journalism, which is not the truth, not telling the truth, but actually skewing things to fit whatever narrative you're trying to do. We use products as ways to express ourselves. So we kind of have no choice but to live our values. If we're going to say that, we have to do it.